All right, so this Tariq Rico, DaBear. Uh, I'm big like a linebacker. I'm 6'5". Don't get the wrong impression. I'm sorry, I gotta say that. There's a lot of rumors out here. I'm back. Another edition of Tales from the Afterlife. I figured I was going to address some of this eventually anyway, but like, yeah, I mean, in the changing climate, like I figure, like, yeah, I mean, but it's just lived experiences, stuff that you go through, stuff you learn from. But like I said, we're back with another edition of Tales from the Afterlife. 42. I'm a therapist. I'm an aspiring entrepreneur. I'm trying to put together the tattoo studio. Check us out on YouTube, the Bear Facts Podcast. Check us out on IG, the Bear Canvas Tattoo Studio. DM me for all orders, merchandise, stuff like that. Uh, YouTube, like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Every time I put out new content, you'll be notified. You'll stay up on the latest. Whether it's art related, like right now, if you on IG, you already seen it. But right now, I'm working on this painting. I got an NFT like it, and I got a couple drawings like it, but that's the painting, and I don't paint. So I can draw, but I don't paint. But I'm always looking to perfect my craft, whatever that is, whether it's clinically or artistically wise. I'm gonna be shooting some other footage in like 30 minutes or so. But anyway, so in this segment, like I'm gonna be going over some stuff, like from the past. Like like I said, you gotta live through some stuff to hopefully, like, yeah, I mean, you just go, like I said, the good route, the elementary, high school, college, workforce, whatever. But for people with lived experience, you go through some things, you learn different things. I'm gonna also be coming like with those reactionary Jones. Like I started a new segment where I'm gonna be verbally storyboarding, trying to give you my visual of some artist work and some other reactionary videos, but still the same other segments. I still got segments on the horizon, like the tattoo tours and stuff like that, trying to incorporate that someday. Hopefully we get up with the and running with the man cave tours. I'm from Philly. Sports is like, yeah, I mean, ingrained in you. So like, yeah, I mean, it's a big thing, yeah, I mean. So in the man caves, with people leveling up the success of minorities and stuff like that, we trying to do our thing. We trying to, yeah, I mean, live that good life. But anyway, so in this tale, I'm gonna be talking about a funny story because it's a funny story to me. Like the first couple segments was inspired by I was listening to music again, and I basically broke down how I personally related to the music, and I'll do that again next week or sometime. But the rapper said something, and it was like I had that same experience, but I worded it different. So that's what inspired this, and I went through that in the last one of the last segments. So like with this tales from the afterlife, that's the stuff you went live through. Like you know, I was rebirthed. I'm in my 17th childhood, working on my 28th. But the stuff you go through. Like I remember, it was this time. We used to chill on the block. It was a block in my neighborhood. It wasn't like a projects or nothing, but we used to chill on the block in my neighborhood, and we used to trap out a couple of houses between these two blocks in the neighborhood. And like we used to chill, and we used to be like it would be me, my homie, and a different homie. It was one of the homies from one of the previous stories, and then a different homie from from the same previous story. So we used to chill in this crib or these two cribs throughout time, and then like I mean other spots. But like when we were outdoors, it was like a certain amount of spots. There was like a spot across the street, spot at the end of my block. A spot up where like some of the sports are played in my neighborhood. And then like we used to hang out down at the train tracks. Don't ask me why. I don't know who came up with that, but we used to, and even in these cribs, like we'd be deep, like it'd be the three of us, like you know what I mean, and then it'd be people that would come through every once in a while of our homies, but then like the persons who crib it was, they had their own homies, and they was deeper than us. They was like 30, like these was white boys, but they was like 30 deep, 15 deep, 20 deep. So like, you know what I mean, and they'd be running around the crib, like it'd be funny because it'd be like I'd be sitting on the couch, my homie be sitting on the couch, the other homie be sitting on the couch or the chair, and then there'd be the person that's crib it was sitting with us, and then it'd be like chaos all around us, and we just sitting there smoking and watching TV. You get what I'm saying? And sometimes we'd be in the boy bedroom, like burning L's and stuff like that, and chilling, and that's a whole different story. But like this story is like, you know what I mean? Like I don't know. We were like even it would probably be like deeper when we would be down at the tracks, and then like other people that we like the three of us really chilled with like on a daily basis and did sold with or sold to or bought off of and stuff like that at different times. They would come through, but they wasn't like chilling like you know what I mean. But like when we would be down at the tracks, you might see a bunch of people down there, and like you know what I mean. It was different times down there. Like the one time like it just didn't sit right with me. Like we were all down there, but like you know what I mean. Like you know what I mean. Like we was hanging out, we was chilling. So I guess when it came to we were running out of Dutches or whatever, we were smoking Phillies at the time. We went from Phillies to Dutches and Vegas, and you know what I mean. Like I stopped smoking or whatever. But at the time, like I guess we were smoking like Vegas probably heavy or maybe Dutchess. Like I think we went to Vegas then Dutchess, but like I think we were smoking Vegas. So I was on like the store was like 2 blocks away. So like yeah, I mean we were running out of blunts, but I'm gonna leave that at that. So I was on my way to the store. So I ran into these boys on the way to the store, and these are niggas we chilled with. These are dudes that we chilled with, smoked weed with, passed the blunts around with, or whatever. Like, so I don't know. Like, it was. I went to school with them from like the time I got kicked out of school until graduation. So it was like, yeah, I mean, it was. I didn't really think nothing of it. Like, this is one of them things that it didn't sit right with me, and I didn't do nothing. I just went about my business. So even then, like when I ran into them, it was like they was like 5, 6 deep. You get what I'm saying? But I mean, I ain't really care. But at the same time, like, and like I said, we smoked like on and off, like basically every other day, whatever. Like, I mean, like with different people, but they were some of the other people, peripheral crews, whatever you want to say. So, and this wasn't uncommon in my neighborhood. Like, I mean, like I said, I'm out in the county, I'm across the street from Philly, but this wasn't unfamiliar for the people I knew and the people I chilled with and the people that chilled with people I chilled with. And, like, I mean, all collectively, one day we might be burning one down or whatever. But, so I'm on my way to the store, and at the top of the block that basically the store is on, or the route you take to get to the store, and then you cut over, and then the store's right there. Like I get there, like I said, it's people I've seen before, but for whatever reason, it just didn't something just was off. You get what I'm saying? But everybody was down at the tracks. Like it was like probably like 30, 50 deep down at the tracks, maybe like 20, 15, I don't know, but they was deep down at the tracks, but it was like something didn't sit right. And this is like I said, this probably got to be like 99, maybe like this is definitely 99. This is definitely 99 because after this event, it's like the block shut down and it was like a ghost town, man. Like everybody like split up and people were hanging out at different spots. So, and I'm not saying it was because of this, but like I knew after then, like, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? So I get to where the ball, or where to the top of, like, I would say it was probably a good football size field from where we were chilling on the tracks to where you go up the hill or the ramp to get to the street to go down the block. So I get to the top of the ramp and they on bikes and shit. Like I said, we young boys, and like they like, yo, where B at? And I like where the boy at? Like, you know what I mean? And at the time, I probably had work on me, but they asked for him. So like, you know what I mean? Like I was like, I don't know how long I sat there talking to him, but like something just didn't sit right in me. And I'm not saying like I'm a god or goat, nothing like that, but like, you know what I mean? If I was a goat, like, you know what I mean? It might have went down different. But like from then to like up until maybe like 5 years ago, like it never sat right with me, and I ain't blame myself, but like I mean I had a little bit of guilt, but like I mean like so I got to the top of the hill, we busting up wherever they like where the ball at. And I'm like, oh, you down there, you know what I mean? Like everybody else down there, you down there, you know what I mean? Like he's like, all right, so I'm gonna go. They like we gonna go holler at the ball. Obviously, the cops on green. So I walk off and go to the store, like I mean, and the plan was to meet back on the block, which is like there was a dirt hill going up the tracks, and then there was like a hole in the fence, and then you had to jump the fence to get to the block once you cross the yard. So I got back to the block, and everybody was back on the block. You know what I mean? And the people that weren't on the block, they while I was walking up, they were like hopping the fence and shit. So we back on the block, we busting up, and like I don't know how long time went by. It was probably a minute, but like I'm like, yo, where the ball at? Like, what's up with the ball? Like, where nobody seen the ball? Like, where he at? Why he ain't come back with y'all? Like, y'all just left him down there. And like I'm saying, like normally, like I'm saying, like there's people we chill with, smoke, got nice with, whatever, and it's like I wouldn't have thought nothing. But I don't know, something from the minute I seen them niggas was like, yeah, I mean, something off. So like, yeah, I mean, I don't know. The boy we chill with, like I chill with on a normal basis. He comes up and like his clothes is ripped. He mad as fuck and shit like that. And turns out the niggas had robbed him, and it was like crazy. It was a scuffle. It wasn't like a. I think they had a hammer on him, but I don't know if they pulled it. I know a couple of the people we chilled with was down there, but they didn't jump in it. They didn't stop it, and they didn't get involved either. But all the people that was on the block and chilled on the block on a daily basis was back on the block, and the ball came back up. And that was just a crazy story to me, because like, you know what I mean? Like, it was just crazy, because like, I don't know, like I said, it was something that wasn't unfamiliar, especially like in like junior high or high school, like early on, like before, because that was like my senior year. But like, even as early as like elementary school, stuff like that, you chill with boys 1 minute, you might have been jumping them the next. You might jump somebody and then chill with them the next day. Like I got jumped a couple times, and like, you know what I mean, like I would say twice, but like, you know what I mean. I don't know. I seen boy, like if I seen boy, I probably seen the boy a couple years ago, and then like the same boy that jumped me with a couple other boys, like in 1 year uh he didn't jump the ball, but he beat him up because the ball didn't fight back twice that year. And at that point, this was like sixth grade when that happened, and we still chilled together. So it was like, you know what I mean. So another time, it was weird. It was super weird. This was like that. The first story was weird to me because it was like when I seen them, it was like, and these, like I said, these weren't people that weren't familiar to me. These weren't people like I know everybody. Like I know when I say I know everybody, I knew what everybody was capable of. I knew, you know what I mean. Like I think they said they was in or some shit like that. I think like even after that shit happened, people had sent word through like mutual friends, like, yo, Zan did that shit, whatever, whatever. Like whatever, whatever. But like, yeah, I mean. So with that situation, like I said, it always didn't sit right with me, because it was like I seen them, and I could have at least been down there in case something jumped off. But I was like, oh no, they still just regular on some regular shit. I'm gonna go do me. But in the next story, it's like it was weird and funny weird to me, because it was like, yeah, I mean, I'm chilling with niggas, but I'm not chilling with the dudes I usually chill with. We still cool, and we was around each other all the time and shit like that. But it wasn't the people I spent like every day with. You get what I'm saying? They were still my mans in them, but they had their little crew, and we had our little crew. But we like when we got up and got nice, chilled, smoked blunt, whatever. Like, yeah, I mean, that's what it was. But I don't know, like around the hood, it was the neighborhood. I'm in the county, sorry. So around the neighborhood, it was always this story about this. Like it was basically neighborhood Debo. You get what I'm saying? And they were always like everybody I know is always talking about this neighborhood Debo ball, neighborhood Debo ball, neighborhood Debo ball, and it was like, yeah, I mean, and they would tell stories beyond that. They would tell stories about him basically jacking niggas and fucking boys up and shit like that. And like I'm like, wow, okay. I don't know the nigga. Like, okay, I don't know him. Like, whatever. But and even one time, it was like we was down at the tracks where we at a different part of the tracks, like right where like that's called the regional rail in Philly, like right where the train stop, the right where the train stops. This ain't the L as sub. This is the regional rail. Yeah, it's pretty much the same thing. Like, you know what I mean, but it's a little fancier inside and less stops, I guess. I don't know. No, I say that because I was thinking the other day, like New York got all them trains, but we do got the regional rails and stuff like that. But anyway, so and we got trolleys. But anyway, so I'm chilling with these boys and we down at the tracks, right? And like we smoking and then the cops come. Boop, boop. And we like in the middle of the tracks, so it's like they on one side of the tracks. We on the other side. They on the opposite side, like of the tracks. So you know what I mean. So if they got out, they would have to cross the tracks, but they came down, they hit their flashes or whatever, and we were smoking, and still we were in high school and shit like that. So I think I ain't tossed the blunt. I just let it drop by my side. You know what I mean? And we started to walk off and shit. And the white boy homie that I had, he dropped his book bag and he picked up. He acted like he was picking up the book bag and he grabbed the blunt and we kept walking. And that was funny to me because niggas was like, "Oh, Rick, you just dropped the blunt." Like, I mean, what the fuck I'm supposed to do? But the boy was smooth enough to do what he did. Like, but in all that said, the funny thing is, like, throughout all these stories that people was telling me, I ain't know the boy. But then, like, eventually it was told to me, like, this the boy. I'm like, that's the boy? They like, yeah, that's the boy. I'm like, I didn't smoke reefer with this nigga like 2,900 times. Like, y'all telling me in these Debo stories, you don't come at me on no shady stuff. He ain't try to rob me. He was just like, yeah, I mean, he just caught blunts, rolled blunts, and was chill. So I don't know. That was funny to me because it was like the whole time everybody telling these tales of terror. It's like I'm smoking with him the whole time and I don't even know it's the same boy because I think they was probably using his government when he was around, but his nickname, like, yeah, I mean, so I'm like, oh, okay, I wouldn't know. But that led me to that boy. It was weird but funny because, like, you know, he was the neighborhood Debo. And it was fucked up, weird, and funny because, like, you know what I mean? Like, I guess this was a time where niggas was getting super nice and got introduced to Zans and stuff like that. And him and another boy we used to show. I ain't seen this boy or another boy. Another boy went to juvie. I ain't seen him since. And they ended up robbing the 7-Eleven out here. And they was zanned up. So, like, you know what I mean? Like, they robbed the 7-Eleven. And from what I was told, the story I was told was they robbed the 7-Eleven, left, came back in the Johnny, squad of Johnny, you know what I mean, and parked outside the fucking 7-Eleven, was chilling and they was chilling, not knowing what the fuck was going on. They didn't even know they just robbed the 7-Eleven. And I could relate to that. That'll be further down the story because I'm in the middle of this now. But, like, basically they got caught sitting in front of the 7-Eleven they just robbed, like, hours later. Like, yeah, I mean, so I don't know. That was crazy. I don't know. It's crazy things that you go through and you live through and funny situations that happen. It was something else. Like, it was another, I don't know. I don't remember. But like I said, new segment, Tales from the Afterlife. I'm completely legit. I'm educating them mid-up therapist. It ain't that. It ain't that. Like, let me enjoy my afterlife. I'm having heaven on earth while my wings still fit, with my knees to the floor. Please, Lord, forgive him. That's Jay. I'm not Jay. That's Jay. But still, like, you know what I mean? Like, it ain't that. Like, I just want to, you know what I mean? I just want to be on permanent vacay. Work all day. I want to work enough that I got enough money. I want to make enough money that I feel like I live for free. I'm still paying for shit. But it don't even dent my account. And I ain't even a superstar or nothing like that. Like, and I've enjoyed the preliminary prerequisite work of getting to here and gaining my education. But, you know what I mean? And I feel like I said in the last show, and I feel like it's a good fit for me as somebody that's real analytic and studies, like, body language, mind, like, you know what I mean? Where you going with it, and stuff like that. So it is what it is, but it ain't that. Like, let's keep it PG. Let's like, I don't like the bullying Disneyland. Like, don't do that. But like, comment, subscribe. DaBear Facts Podcast, Tales from the Afterlife. Check us out on IG, DaBear Canvas Tattoo Studio. DM me for all merch. Smash that like button. Yeah.